It is 101.9 The Mix. It's McCabe, and right now joined by the very talented singer, songwriter, Lukas Graham. How are you?
I am great. Thank you very much for taking some time out of your day to talk to me.
Thank you as well. Where are you joining us from?
I am in Los Angeles, California.
Oh, bummer. It must be terrible there right now.
It's horrible. I mean, I really like seasons, and it's so beautiful back home right now with all the autumn colors. But I'll get to enjoy that with my kids come the weekend.
Yeah, how do you enjoy yourself in Los Angeles? Do you actually like go to the beach? Is it just music, or do you actually go out and have fun?
I try to be here mostly for work. It's not that I don't like to have a bit of time off, but if I'm not with my kids, the beach isn't as fun. And yeah, I like to just grind it out while I'm here on my own. Did go to the beach yesterday though to shoot a music video. Did not swim in the ocean because I was just working all day, but I got to look at the ocean, which was
Let's
very,
look
very
at it.
nice.
That's all. Just get your Instagram out, the photo, and you can remember it forever. When are you headed back home?
I'll be flying back tomorrow morning. So yeah, back home. My oldest daughter's turning 6 this weekend, so to
Oh,
me it's very
awesome.
important to make my kids' birthdays and Christmas Eve. I can't make all the important occasions, but birthdays and Christmas Eve is kind of, I have to do that.
Are they able to join you at shows? Have they done so far?
Yeah, they have sometimes, and it's really nice. The youngest one doesn't really get it yet. She's only 2.5, but the big one, she finds it like interesting to sit in the window and watch dad perform.
Does she kind of get what dad does? Is it just a cool job that she thinks you have, or does she like, oh my gosh, my dad is a rock star?
Like sometimes, like back in the day, she'd be like, "Oh, dad, this is your song." I'm like, "They're playing your song here, and it's you singing it," and like that would kind of freak her out a little. But then the other day, she goes like, "Dad, you're world famous," and like I don't really know who told her this. Like it's something she kind of came up with herself, and I'm not really sure how she kind of figured it out or whatever.
She
But
knows
then
what
she
she's
we all
talking about. She's right.
we also got into a heated argument because there's like this YouTube phenomenon called Just Dance, and there isn't a Just Dance to any of my songs. And she got super angry with me for it because she's like, "But Justin Bieber's songs are on there. Why aren't your songs?" And it's like I don't know if they want to do dance routines to these emotional ballads, honey. I'm sorry.
The remix. You can do the remix with it.
Yeah, but it was just a funny thing. She's like, "Dad, you need to get it. I need to be able to dance to your song."
Well, that's when you know she's probably onto something. So at some point, we need like a dance record.
We need the dance record, and we need the. There might be one coming in a minute. I won't be able to confirm it because what if it doesn't come out? But I do believe a dance record is coming out in just a few weeks time.
Well, before we get to that, let's talk about "Wish You Were Here." Talk about a ballad or like this big emotional song. When did you start writing this song?
I started this a few months ago, or several, I guess, with Ryan Tedder in Los Angeles, and we just ended up making it this big, anthemic "I Miss You, Friends" song. I've written countless songs to my father who passed away and to friends who've sadly passed away. And I have so many friends left and so many family members left that I wish I could bring to Los Angeles at any given moment, or when I go out to say Southeast Asia and eat all this amazingly exotic food and fruits and I just so many of my childhood friends that I can't bring along with me because they've got jobs, families, and careers of their own to take care of. So it's weird, growing up and becoming a real adult and all the dreams we had as kids. I'm out there living them, and everybody else is stuck back home.
And you know, it is a song that I think so many people can relate to, whether it's just yeah, missing your friends, missing family, if you are traveling, or if you move to another city to relocate for a job. How have your friends reacted when they first heard this song?
Some of them heard it the first time on stage this fall when I was out touring a little bit, and it was really nice to talk to them afterwards and have this whole like they're like, hey, we miss you too sometimes, when you're gone, and they have all their parties and dinners and weddings that I'm not there at, and funerals I'm not there at, and it's nice to be missed. It's a sign that you're loved.
Yeah, and you mentioned like weddings. I'm surprised like you just don't show up with the guitar or something and just kind of perform for friends, just surprise them out of nowhere.
I'd have to show up with a guitarist. I don't play any instruments. But yeah, I mean, I make the ones I make, and it's like a condition of the job. If I'm gone most of the time, then I'll also miss most of the stuff.
Right,
Like,
right. But you're connecting with fans, you're doing big things out there, so you're an important part of people's lives as well.
and also it's like I don't think anybody begrudges me it. It's like someday when I'm done traveling the world and doing this for a living, I'll be able to help out with all sorts of other things and take care of people's kids and help them paint their house. Because then, like when I'm off, I'm actually off. You know what I mean? When
Right.
I'm not working, I'm not doing anything. I can like I get up early with my kids. I make them
Mhm.
porridge. I drop them off. I pick them up. Like I have all the time in the world when I'm not on tour.
I think there's a good balance that you can work with it, and you're making it happen. And going back to the song real quick, working with Ryan Tedder on this record, what's it like working with Ryan? What's like the secret sauce that he kind of adds to a song?
He's just an amazingly talented musician and songwriter, also a very talented producer, and I think his secret sauce is his tenacity. Like he just keeps going at it when he knows there's a good idea, he'll not let it go. It's uh it's a very inspiring process to watch because I mean Ryan could have retired a decade ago and he's decided to just keep pushing, and I think that's a very I mean, it's a very honorable way of going about your business. Like
Yeah,
he just keeps writing amazing songs for himself and other people, and you can't not be respectful of that. I mean, I'm only 34, and I feel like I have so many things to yet learn. And Ryan is an amazing person to learn stuff from. I'm very grateful for having worked with him once, and most likely being able to do so again.
yeah. I mean, it's a win-win with you two working together. And then let's throw in another person. You got Khalid on the record. How did you team up?
It was Ryan that was like halfway through the creative process. He goes like, "Oh, you could carry this song by yourself, but let me call a friend and like, would you be up to have a feature on?" And then knowing Ryan's network, I was like, he could call one out of 1,000 people and it would be real cool, you know.
Right.
And then to get a megastar like Khalid to want to collab with me on my song, he flew out to Copenhagen eventually, and we recorded his stuff there, and we went and had a really nice dinner. And he's also just like Ryan, an amazing human being, a really nice guy. And to me, that's a really important part of the creative collaboration. I want to have good days, and I want to work with good people.
Right. Could this be the first of many collaborations you think with either Ryan or Khalid?
Hopefully, I mean, I'm not shutting anything out, but I also understand that being creative sometimes entails working with different people at different times and pushing your own boundaries. So if it was just the one, I'm super grateful for that. If we do 10 more, I would also love that.
Yeah. Well, it's such a great song. And, performing it for the first time, when you take it, you write it, then you record, it's finally done. What's it like when you get out there on stage and perform a song for the first time?
It's a superhuman feeling because mostly when I go on stage now, you have thousands of people singing the words back at me. And then when you perform a song that is being released in a week or tomorrow, no one can sing it back at you, and it's like starting over. It's like that feeling I had 10, 12 years ago at our first shows, where nobody knows who you are, nobody knows what they're expecting. And then like yeah, like that first night when we performed this song, it was completely amazing, like just having 3 minutes of feeling like the beginning again.
Yeah. No, it's so cool to hear. Now, is this also a part of a bigger body of work that you want to put together?
Yeah, I just mixed and mastered a whole album that's coming out preferably the first week of January. Yeah, it's going to be the Pink album in my little color album series.
Oh,
And
I didn't even
it's a
plan that. Pink,
no,
pink. I got pink on.
brilliant. Yeah, you got the little salmon chest going there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go. So it's called the Pink Album.
yeah. I mean, it was stupid. My oldest daughter was like, "Why don't you make the next CD pink? I like pink." And I was like, "Okay, I don't think she used the word CD, though she probably don't even know what it is.
You know what that is? Yeah.
But it was like I like I like the color thing, you know. Some of my favorite albums, even like if it's like the Beatles' The White Album or Metallica's Black Album, is like something about connecting a color with an artist that I find really cool, and then I can keep like the artwork's been the same throughout all the albums I've released, and that just the color changes, which I think is kind of cool.
Well, I like the ring of that. Lukas Graham, the Pink Album.
I mean, you don't put on pink if you're having a bad day, right?
No, it's always a
Like,
great color. You feel good when you put on pink.
exactly. Pink is a good day color. And
And,
this album is more positive and a little more upbeat than the last one I put out. So I felt that pink really suited it.
and I think your daughter is onto something. When we do get the CD, because they still make CDs, you can take that around and carry around your pink album.
Exactly.
What can we expect more big emotional songs to follow on this album?
Definitely, there's a big ballad with the country singer Mickey Guyton that I'm really stoked about. It's one of my favorite songs to perform live at the moment, and it's been fun performing that one live this August when I did some big shows because that's not released and there was no plan to release it before the album drops. And then just seeing people's reaction to the song, and then seeing their comments on the internet, not being able to like get it anywhere or stream it anywhere, that's a kind of a funny feeling too. I wrote a tribute to my grandma called "To Say Forever" that's on that album too. But it's like more up tempo, it's more driven than "Wish You Were Here." And I mean, the whole album just moves a little more. And I'm back to my autobiographical songwriting
Mm-hmm.
with a little bit of conceptual writing in there. Um, but yeah, what I like about the way I write albums is that you kind of get a snapshot into my life. And the Pink album is just a little, it's like a longer narrative, I guess, because some of the songs were written in 2019 and some of the songs have been written and finished here in 2022. So it's usually a long process for me when I drop albums. So you get to see a little bit of what my life's been like in the meantime.
No, yeah, it's like we get to capture the moment, of your life in an album, or that part of your life in an album, which we look forward to, and we can expect that in January. You're thinking?
I think the first week of January, but let's see if my label feels the same way.
And can we expect a tour in the States at some point as well?
I would love to come back and tour. I know the scheduling has been a little messed up after COVID. A lot of tours have been pushed and rescheduled, and like slots at different venues are a little hard to get. So I think I'm gonna put out a lot of music and then plan a really good tour when it suits the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, I miss touring the States. I love visiting like east, west, north, south, and everything in between. It's a nice cultural melting pot that I enjoy visiting. And
It is. We
I
would
mean,
love
I
to
don't
see you
think
here in Chicago. It would be amazing.
Chicago's always been the one to sell out the quickest for me. I mean, I've always had a good time there.
Well, great. Well, we look forward to hopefully getting back on tour, an album in January, the new single, Wish You Were Here with Khalid. And, before you go, what's like the daily routine for you? I see that you're working out on Instagram. You're staying in shape.
Yeah, I mean, I have this thing about I want to be like stronger and quicker and more mobile than my kids for as long as possible. I want to be able to do more than they can and follow them wherever they go and do whatever they want to do. I had a dad that was very like he was very 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 strong. Like he'd take us for swims and he could out swim me and all my friends. Like if we were going on a bike somewhere, he'd be able to go longer and further than all of us. And like he passed away at the age of 61 because he didn't take care of his health in all aspects of life. Um, and I just don't want to go down that way. I want to be that I want to be a strong, mobile, healthy dad that's able to do whatever his kids wants to do. And also, it helps me on stage to just deliver better and not be as completely shattered the next day after running around for 90 minutes singing my heart out.
Right. You just feel better when you get into that routine of working out, and yeah, you're able to do way more things and able to do it the next day.
Oh yeah, working out, swimming, eating good food, and I mean my routine changes. I don't have a lot of routines, so mainly my workouts and my either cold showers or like swimming in a pool or the ocean is what I'd like to do every morning. And then depending on where I am in the world and what my job requires of me, it changes. But if I'm at home, I'll cook breakfast for my kids before I go and drop them off before I go to the gym. Then I'll get whatever work done I need to get done, pick them up around 3, go home, cook dinner, read them books.
You were in the dad grind.
And I love it. I mean, I always wanted kids, and I think even though I'm gone for a big chunk every year, I think I get more like time with my kids. Like I can just switch the phones off and then just be with them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, on Instagram, on TikTok, I mean, you are a great father. You look like you're staying in shape and taking care of the kids. So I think that's a great role model, great influence for others. So keep doing that. And, before we go coming up, also, you had Halloween coming up. Are you a big Halloween guy?
Not a big Halloween guy, but it's been taking over my life since my kids got in. Halloween has like moved into Danish culture quite late. I mean, it's an old Celtic holiday that blew up in the States, and now it's all over the world. And I'm most likely will be dressing my kids up as pumpkins or zombies or witches, and we're gonna go have some fun.
They're not going
It's
like the Star Wars route. They're not like want to be a Jedi or anything like that.
I mean, I wouldn't like. I think if you go Halloween, you should go traditional Halloween. We can't start. We have something called Fastelavn in Denmark where they can dress up as anything, and then 6 months later comes Halloween, and then it's something zombie, scary, deathy.
Okay. What is that called again? The
Fastelavn. I don't
Fastelavn.
think. Yeah, what is Fastelavn even, Oscar? Do you? It's like an old Danish thing. They basically you make some special pastries, the special pastries that you eat that on that day, and we go around, or the kids go around with their piggy banks, basically begging money off people, or they'll create mischief. So
Okay.
Halloween is the cheaper version where you just give them candy. On Fastelavn, you have to give them real money.
Give them money. Oh, I love that. When is that? It's 6 months after Halloween or 6 months before?
Yeah, when's Fastelavn, Oscar? It's like in the early 12th of February, so it's like a couple of months in between.
All right, I'm writing that down. 12th of February, Fastelavn.
Fastelavn.
Lukas, thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate you talking with the mix. Wish You Were Here is out. We actually wish you were here at some point.
Wish I was there, man. Last time I was speaking to Chicago, I was like, oh, I remember this restaurant Avec that we go to when we're in Chicago. Just the best food, all seasonal stuff. Like, yeah.
Well,
I got my spots.
Yeah, you got your spots. It'll be ready for you. Well, Lukas Graham, thank you so much for taking the time. We're talking with 101.9 The Mix. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.